Greetings! Mansory79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days! Alright, let's get started. Press the A button now.
Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days.
Loading game and proceeding. And here we are in the main menu, going to edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Keter Sanctuaries, Phantom Blaster Overlord, D-BT05 deck. And I'm going to be using this Keter Sanctuaries, Phantom Blaster Dragon, D-BT04 deck. It's the base of the deck I'm going to build. Alright, let's get started. So going to edit deck, entering edit deck. And here we are. And like I just mentioned before, the deck I'm building in today's deck profile video is a Keter Sanctuaries, Phantom Blaster Overlord deck made up of cards only available up until D-BT05. Okay, so first let's go to filter settings, pack, show only cards available from D-BT01, Genesis and the 5 Greats, D-BT02, A Brush with the Legends, D-BT03, Advance of Intertwined Stars, D-BT04, Awakening of Chakrabarti, D-BT05, Triumphant Return of Brave Heroes, Festival Collection 2021, and promo pack number 1, apply filter. Okay, now let's start with the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 3s of this deck, we're playing Ride Deck, grade 3, Phantom Blaster Overlord, skills for skill, continuous as a Vanguard. If your soul has a Phantom Blaster Dragon, this unit gets +1 critical. And second skill, auto as a Vanguard. When this unit attacks, cost, retire 2 of your rear guards. If the cost is paid, choose a blaster dart from your soul or drop, call to rear guard. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, that cult unit and this unit gets +10,000 power until end of turn. So for Phantom Blaster Overlord, it's the main grade 3 to ride in this deck. Its skills, the first skill, as long as you have Phantom Blaster Dragon in your Vanguard soul, your Vanguard Phantom Blaster Overlord will always continuously get a +1 critical. So for this first skill, as long as the condition is met, you get a +1 critical, making it easier to potentially pressure or finish off your opponent with the increased critical. And second skill, whenever you attack with your Vanguard Phantom Blaster Overlord, by retreating 2 rear guards from your field, you can superior call a blaster dart from either your soul and drops or drop zone. And then, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater when you activate the skill, the called blaster dart and your Vanguard Phantom Blaster Overlord get +10,000 power. So for the second skill, it's a good way to not only get yourself a front row rear guard to attack with, but to also have the chance of increasing the cult unit and your Vanguard Phantom Blaster Overlord with the additional power +10,000 power, making it easier to pressure or potentially finish off your opponent with. And so for Phantom Blaster Overlord, we're playing 4 in the deck and putting 1 in the right deck. Okay, next up, the grade 3 Phantom Blaster Dragon, skills for skill, auto, when this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle, choose a card blaster this card name from your soul and call to rear guard circle. Second skill, action as a Vanguard once per turn, cost, counterblast 1 and retire 3 rear guards. If the cost is paid, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rear guards and retire them, and this unit gets +10,000 power and +1 critical until end of turn. So for Phantom Blaster Dragon, it's one of the main grade 3s to play in this deck. Its skill, the first skill, whenever you ride Phantom Blaster Dragon onto your Vanguard circle, you can superior call any card with the name Blaster in its card name from your soul to the rear guard, securing you a potential attacker from the front row, booster from the back row, or a unit to use as fodder to activate any self-rear guard retiring skills, like Phantom Blaster Overlord or Phantom Blaster Dragon skills. And the second skill, just by counterblasting 1, retiring 3 of your own rear guards, not only can you retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards, but also your Vanguard Phantom Blaster Dragon gets +10,000 power and +1 critical until end of turn. So this second skill is a good way to not only clear out your opponent's field of rear guards, but to also give your Vanguard more power and critical, making it easier to pressure and finish off your opponent with. So for Phantom Blaster Dragon, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, we're putting in the grade 3. Let's see, putting in the grade 3. Okay, what should I put in? Okay, putting in the grade 3, Ease Rod Angel, skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, cost, Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, look at the top card of your deck. And if it is a unit card, you may call to the rear guard circle in the same column as this unit. Return it to its original spot if you do not call. So for Ease Rod Angel, it's a pretty good card to play in your Keter Sanctuary Nation decks for skill. Just by calling her to the rear guard and Soul Blasting 1, you have the chance to superior call the top card of your deck to the rear guard, supplying you with a potential front row attacker or back row booster on your rear guard. So for Ease Rod Angel, we're playing 2 in the deck, okay? And now for the grade 2 lineup. For the grade 2s this deck, we're playing Ride Deck, grade 2, Blaster Dart, skill, for skill, auto, when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle or rear guard circle, cost, counterblast 1 and retire another rear guard. If the cost and pay, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it, and this unit gets drive +1 until end of turn. Second skill, continuous as a rear guard. During your turn, if your rear guard was retired this turn, this unit gets +5,000 power. So for Blaster Dart, it's the main grade 2 to ride in this deck. It's for a skill. When ridden or called, you can pay a cost of counterblast 1 and retire one of your other rear guards. If the cost and pay, you can not only retire one of your opponent's rear guards, but if you use this skill on a Vanguard Blaster Dart, you can also give your Vanguard drive +1, allowing your grade 2 Vanguard Blaster Dart to twin drive to increase the chances of pressuring your opponent by possibly getting triggers with the twin drive, or giving you more defensive options by letting you draw more cards for the extra drive. And the second skill, during your turn, as long as you manage to retire one of your own rear guards, your front row Blaster Dart can serve as a 15,000 point attacker in your front row rear guards. So for Blaster Dart, we got 4 in the deck, 1 the right deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the grade 2, Darkness Maiden, Maka, not gonna play this card anymore, taking it out. Next up, the grade 2, Unnatural Knight, Adelbab, not gonna play this card anymore, taking it out. And in their place, we're putting in the grade 2, Drilling Angel, skill, auto, when this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, cost, put a unit from your drop zone into your soul. If the cost and paid, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with the same card name as the card put into your soul, put its cost from among them, and call to rear guard, shuffle your deck. So for Drilling Angel, it's a pretty good card to play in your Keter Sanctuary Nation decks. It's skill. Just by calling to the rear guard, you can take any unit card from your drop zone and put into your Vanguard Soul, and then check the top 3 cards of your deck. If you happen to reveal an additional copy of the card that was placed into your soul by this unit skill, you can superior call it to the rear guard. So for Drilling Angel, it's not only a good way to fill up your soul for later soul blast, but to also let you get another potential attacker or back row booster depending on what you put into your soul for this unit skill. So for Drilling Angel, we're going to put in, let's see, 2 into the deck. Okay, next up, we're putting in the grade 2, Skull Witch, Nemen, skills for skill, continuous as a rear guard. During your turn, if you have a Vanguard Blaster in its card name, this unit gets +5,000 power. And second skill, auto, when this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, if your Vanguard's clan is only Shadow Paladin, cost, counterblast 1, and put a card from your hand into your soul. If the cost and paid, draw 2 cards. So for Skull Witch Nemen, it's one of the support cards for the Phantom Blaster series. It's for skill while on your rear guard on your turn. As long as your Vanguard has the name Blaster, your Skull Witch Nemen will get +5,000 power, making her a 10,000 point rear guard in the front row. And the second skill, when you call Nemen to your rear guard, as long as your clan is only Shadow Paladin, by paying the cost of counterblasting 1 and putting a card from your hand to your soul, you can draw 2 cards. So for the second skill, as long as the conditions are met, it's a good way to not only fill up your soul for later soul blast, but to also give you more options by letting you draw more cards with its skill. So for Skull Witch Nemen, we're putting 4 into the deck. Okay, next up, we're putting in. Okay, I think the grade 2 lineup is fine. So now for the grade 1 lineup, for the grade 1 to the deck, we're playing Ride Deck, grade 1, Blaster Javelin, skills for skill, auto. When this unit is ridden upon by Blaster Dart, reveal the top card of your deck, call to rear guard circle as rest if it is a unit card, discard if it isn't. Second skill, continuous as a rear guard. During your turn, if you have a Vanguard Blaster that's card name, this unit gets +10,000 power, 2,000 power. So for Blaster Javelin, it's the main grade 1 to ride this deck. Its skill is the first skill. When you ride Blaster Dark atop him, you have the chance to reveal and superior call the top card of your deck to the rear guard circle as rest. Thus, this first skill is a good way to secure yourself a potential attacker or booster from the back row for your next turn. And the second skill, as long as you've got a Vanguard Blaster in its card name, your rear guard Blaster Javelin can serve as a potential 10,000 point attacker from the front row or 10,000 point booster from the back row. So for Blaster Javelin, we got 1 in the right deck, keeping it that way. Next up, the grade 1, Aegis Red Dragon, Sentinel, Perfect Guard, skills for skill, continuous Sentinel, second skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units. It cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose a card from hand and discard it. So for Aegis Mirror Dragon, it's a perfect guard for the Keter Sanctuary Nation. Like any other perfect guard in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When used to guard with and discarding a card from your hand, you can block one enemy attack, but it also features an ability unique to all D standard format perfect guards. When used to guard with while you have less than 2 cards in hand, you will not have to pay the usual discard 1 cost, making it a potential no-cost perfect guard in desperate last resort situations. So for Aegis Mirror Dragon, we got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Great One, Witch of Pandering, Bruner, skill, continuous as a rear guard. If you have a Vanguard Blaster in its card name, when this unit will be retired from your card's cost, it may be regarded as retiring 2 rear guards. So for Bruner, it's another support card for the Phantom Blaster series. Her skill, as long as your Vanguard's blast has a blaster in its card name, whenever this card will be retired from your rear guard for a unit skill, she is treated as 2 rear guards instead, making her excellent fodder for any skills that require you to retire a number of your own rear guards, like Phantom Blaster Dragon or Phantom Blaster Overlord. So for Witch of Pandering Bruner, we got 4 in the deck. We're going to be taking 2 out, only playing 2. Next up, the Great One, Armor Piercing Knight Mugain, skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle from hand, if you have a Vanguard Blaster in its card name, cost, discard a card from your hand. If the cost is paid, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 unique cards from among them and call them to the rear guard circle as rest, discard the rest. So for Mugain, she's another support card for the Phantom Blaster series. Just by calling her to the rear guard and discarding a card from your hand, you have the chance to check the top 2 cards of your deck and call up to 2 potential rear guards onto your own rear guard circles in the rest position. So from Mugain, she's a good way to secure yourself more rear guards for your next turn to attack or boost with, or to use as fodder for any skills that require you to retire your own rear guards, like Phantom Blaster Overlord or Phantom Blaster Dragon or Blaster Dart. So for Armor Piercing Knight Mugain, we got 4 in the deck. We're going to be taking 1 out, only playing 3. Next up, the Great One, Knight of Desolation, Fionnuala, skill, continuous as a rear guard. If there are no other units in the same column as this unit, this unit gets plus 10,000 power, includes your opponent's rear guards. So for Fionnuala, she's a pretty powerful card to play in your Keter Sanctuary Nation decks for skill. As long as there are no other units in the same column as this unit, both on your side or on your opponent's side of the field, she'll get plus 10,000 power. So as long as the conditions are met, Fionnuala can serve as the potential 18,000 point attacker from the front row. So for Knight of Desolation Fionnuala, we got 4 in the deck, taking 1 out, playing 3. Next up, the Grade 0 lineup. For the Grade 0's deck, we're playing Ride Deck, Grade 0, Full Bow, Skill, Auto. When this unit is rolled upon, if you went second, draw a card. So for Full Bow, it's the starting unit of this deck. Its skill, when rid of the top of, if you went second, draw a card. So for Full Bow, we got 1 in the right deck, leaving it that way. And now for the trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck, we're playing the Grade 0, Blade Feather Dragon, critical trigger, skill, auto as a rear guard. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units. It gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So for Blade Feather Dragon, it's a powerful critical trigger to play in your Keter Sanctuary Nation decks. Its skill, after boosting the attack, regardless if the attack hits or not, as long as you don't mind moving Blade Feather from your rear guard to your soul, you can choose one of your units, Vanguard or rear guard, and give it plus 2,000 power. So for Blade Feather Dragon, it's a good way to not only stock up your soul for later soul blast, but to also give one of your remaining attackers a little extra power to work with. So for Blade Feather Dragon, we got 4 in the deck, leaving that way. Next up, the Grade 0, Knight of Heavenly Hammer, Gurgit, critical trigger. We got 4 in the deck, leaving it that way. Next up, the Grade 0, Protection Magic, Parabi, draw trigger, skill, continuous as a guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. So for Parabi, she's a powerful draw trigger to play in your Keter Sanctuary Nation decks. Its skill, when used to guard with while your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, she gets plus 5,000 shield, making your Parabi a potential 10,000 point shield all on its own. So for Protection Magic, Parabi, we got 3 in the deck, leaving that way. Next up, the Grade 0, Healer of Heavenly Staff, Arches, heal trigger. We got 4 in the deck, taking 2 out, and in its place, we're putting in, let's see, the Grade 0, Invigorate Sage, heal trigger, skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the Guardian Circle, if your opponent's attacking unit has attacked 2 or more times this turn, this unit gets plus 15,000 shield until end of battle. Active if the battle is the second attack this turn or more. So for Invigorate Sage, is a powerful heal trigger to play in your Keter Sanctuary Nation decks. Its skill, when used to guard against an attacking unit who has attacked 2 or more times in the same turn, your Invigorate Sage gets plus 15,000 shield, making Invigorate Sage a potential 25,000 point shield against decks that specialize in restatting and attacking with the same unit, like Vanguard or Rearguard. So for Invigorate Sage, you're putting 2 in the deck, okay? And next up, the Grade 0, Light Dragon Deity of Honors, Amatonia, over trigger, skill, trigger, additional effect. Until end of turn, you can also perform drive checks for the battles your rearguards attack. So for Amatonia, it's the over trigger for the Keter Sanctuary Nation. Like any other over trigger in the Cardfight Vanguard trading card game, it features the same skill and activation. When revealed during a drive check or damage check, you get 100 million power, draw a card, but it also features a skill unique to it alone. Its skill, when revealed during a drive check on your turn, until the end of turn, your rear guards can also perform drive checks when they attack. So for Amatonia, it's a powerful over trigger to reveal during your turn. So as long as you manage to secure yourself a front row line of rear guards to attack your Vanguard, when you reveal this over trigger, your rear guards to attack after you reveal this trigger can also do drive checks, making it easier to pressure or finish off your opponent with the increased chances of getting a trigger, or to increase your defensive options or next turn offensive options by letting you draw more cards with the additional drive checks. So for Amatonia, we got 1 in the deck, leaving that way. Alright, deck's been built, card is explained, so let's just save the deck. Overwrite deck being built, yes. And for the cards in this deck we're playing, 4 Grade 3 Phantom Blaster Dragon, 2 Grade 3 Ease-Rod Angel, 4 Grade 3 Phantom Blaster Overlord, 4 Grade 2 Blaster Dart, 2 Grade 2 Drilling Angel, 4 Grade 2 Skull Witch Nemen, 4 Grade 1 Aegismere Dragon, 2 Grade 1 Witch of Pandering Bruner, 1 Grade 1 Blaster Javelin, 3 Grade 1 Armor Piercing Knight Yugain, 3 Grade 1 Knight of Desolation Fionnuala, and 1 Grade 0 Full Bow Starting Unit. And for the trigger lineup this deck we're playing 8 critical triggers, 3 draw triggers, 4 heal triggers, and 1 over trigger Amatonia. Alright, the deck's been built, card is explained. Now let's get on testing out the deck, but before that, let's just change the name. Nope, keeping the deck name, just change the card sleeves. For the sleeves in this deck, we're using... Okay, for the main deck sleeves, gonna continue using the Keter Sanctuary Nation sleeves as the main deck sleeve, press A. And for the right deck sleeve, we're using the Phantom Blaster Overlord sleeve as the right deck sleeve, press Y. Alright, deck's been built, card press explained, and card sleeves changed. Now it's time to test out the deck, so leaving the edit deck menu, return to the main menu, going to fight menu, going to CPU fight, selecting the deck I just built, the Phantom Blaster Overlord D-BT05 deck. Okay, selecting deck, and now finding an opponent. Alright, for the opponent test that out on, let's see, I guess I'll use it against... I'll use it against Kanji Meguro, normal difficulty. And the battle begins. Let's get started. And here we are in the fight, deciding who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper to paper one more time. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Paper to scissors, I lose, going second. Alright, drawing our starting hands. I got Fionnuala, Phantom Blaster Overlord, Blade Feather Dragon, Phantom Blaster Dragon, and Skull Witch Nemen. Okay, not a bad hand. I should hold on to the Fionnuala and Nemen to call to use your skills and hold on to Phantom Blaster Dragon to use Skull Witch Nemen's skill to move it to the soul, and as well as Phantom Blaster Overlord for a potential Persona ride. So I'm just gonna return the critical trigger to my deck, redraw, Phantom Blaster Dragon, okay, stab the Vanguard, so my opponent's going first, he rides, the Great One, Diablo's Bad Steve, Steve's skill, he Superior Calls, Uncanny Burning to the back row, he Soul Charges, a Gungrum, okay, my turn, I draw, I ride for my right deck, Blaster Javelin, and for the right deck cost, okay, I got Phenolia, Phantom Blaster Overlord, Phantom Blaster Dragon, 2 of them, a Nemen and a Blaster Dark, okay. I can secure Phenolia to call to the rear guard to attack with. Gotta hold on to Phantom Blaster over to Persona ride with, and to use Skull Witch Nemen's skill to add Phantom Blaster Dragon to my soul, and to hold on to Blaster Dark as a front row attacker, so I'll just ditch the second copy of Phantom Blaster Dragon in my hand for the right deck cost. Right, Blaster Javelin, full Val skill. I draw 1 card, I drew a perfect guard, nice. Next, I'm calling Phenolia to the rear guard, call, skill, plus 10,000 power. Alright, that should be enough. Go into battle phase. First up, my Vanguard attacks the Vanguard, 8k. The attack goes through, drive check. Yes, draw trigger! I draw 1 card, I draw a Blaster Dart, okay. I give the power to Phenolia, power added. And now 1 damage to my opponent, damage check. Ah, critical trigger, come on, for the first trigger. Ah, come on. Okay, he adds all effects to Vanguard. Phenolia attacks the Vanguard, 28k. The attack goes through, and slash, damage check. No trigger, okay. That's the end of my turn. Now it's my opponent's turn. My opponent's going to ride the Great 2, Richard. Skill of Richard, he moves Uncanny Burning to the soul, he draws a card, he calls Engraver and Expeller. Okay. He's Engraver is attacking my rear guard, Phenolia. Okay. Most likely the Vanguard will attack the Vanguard, and Expeller will attack either my Vanguard or my rear guard, so... Okay, I'm gonna use up one of the hand cards, my Korabi, to block the first attack. 13k. Phenolia is safe. And now, my opponent's next attack, he's going with Vanguard to Vanguard. Okay, no guard, took the hit. He drive checks. No trigger, safe, so 1 damage to me. Here it comes. Out! Damage check. Yes, draw trigger! I draw 1 card and give all effects to Phenolia. There we go. And now Expeller attacks the Vanguard. No guard. Expeller's skill, he soul charges a perfect guard. Yep, a perfect guard. Nice. Alright, no guard, took the hit. And... Ow! Damage check. No trigger, okay. That's the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn. I stand and draw, okay. I ride from the right deck, Blaster Dart. And for the right deck cost, okay. I got Phantom Blaster Overlord, Phantom Blaster Dragon, Nemen, 2 Blaster Darks, a Perfect Guard, a Grade 3 Easerock Angel, and an Invigorate Sage, so I gotta hold on to Phantom Blaster Overlord to Persona ride with, and hold on to Phantom Blaster Dragon to use Nemen's skill to move it to the soul, so I gotta hold on to the Perfect Guard, of course, so my choices are to discard either the Heal Trigger, Easerock Angel, or one of my Blaster Darks, okay, I guess I'll hold on the heal to protect myself with, and the ease rod to secure a potential rear guard to use for Phantom Blaster Overlord skill, so I guess I'll just ditch one of the extra copies of Blaster Dark in my hand. Right, Blaster Dark, Blaster Javelin skill. I Superior Call the top card of my deck to the rear guard as rest. I call, Aegis Red Dragon, the perfect guard, come on! Fine, it goes to the back row as rest. Now Blaster Dark skill, I counter blast 1 and retreat my Aegis Mirror Dragon to retire one of my opponent's rear guards. I retire... I'm retiring Selfish Engraver, plus 1 drive to my Vanguard. Phenolia, its skill gets more power. Now I'm gonna... Let's see... I'm going to call Skull Witch Nemen to the rear guard. Call... Nemen's skill, I counterblast 1 and move 1 card from my hand to the soul. I move Phantom Blaster Dragon into the soul
スキル発動
and draw 2 cards. I drew a critical and perfect guard, not too bad. I move Fenolia to the back row and call Blaster Dark to the rear guard.
コール
Losing power, but still worth it. Alright, that should be enough. So, going to battle phase. First up, Nemen attacks the rear guard Expeller, 10k. The attack goes through, and boom! 1 rear guard down. Now my Vanguard Blaster Dark attacks the Vanguard. 10k, Twin Drive. The attack goes through, and Twin Drive, first check. Yes, draw trigger. I draw 1 card. I drew a nice. I drew a Bruner. Then I'll give the power to my rear guard Blaster
パワ
Dark.
ープラス
Second check.
ドライブチェックよし
Yes! Heal trigger! I can heal. I'll heal 1 Mugain and give power to the rear guard Blaster Dark.
パワープラス
There we go. Now 1 damage to my
これ
opponent.
が私の本気よアタック
Here it comes. And slash. 1 damage. Damage check. Ah, critical trigger. Come on. Again.
クリックプ
He
ラス
gives all effects to his Vanguard.
パワープラス
Then boosted by Fenolia, my rear guard Blaster Dark attacks the Vanguard. 43k. He doesn't guard. Okay, the attack goes through. Slash. 1 more damage. Damage check.
クリティカルトリ
Yes, critical trigger. He wasted a trigger.
プラス
Trigger effects wasted.
パワープラス
Okay, that's the end of my turn. Now it's my opponent's turn.
スタンド
My opponent's going to ride the grade 3 Purgatory Dragon DD Fabernale. Skill of Fabernale.
この場は僕が制圧
I must retire one of my own rear guards. Okay. I got Ease-Rod Angel to call the rear guard, so as well as Bruner, so I guess I'll hold on to Fenolia and Blaster Dark since their skills let them power up. So I'm just gonna ditch Nemen for my rear guard.
スキル発
Fabernale skill, it moves a card from hand into the soul. He draws a card. He added a grade 2 Nania, and he uses Time Jarrett Dragon to add another Time Jarrett to hand. Okay. Okay, the rear guard can only attack for 9,000 power, and then Fabernale can attack for 13k, so I should probably guard Time Jarrett and let the other attacks go through, so I guess I'll guard with a draw trigger to block the first attack. Guard, 15k.
ガード
The attack is blocked, I'm safe. Now here comes the attack from the Vanguard, 13k.
アタック
No guard, gonna take the hit.
ノーガー
My
ド
opponent twin drives, first check. No trigger, safe. And second check.
ドライブチェック
Ah, heal trigger, come on! He heals 1 damage, he gives power to Nania, 14k, 19k, okay.
君の番
Here
が
comes 1 damage to me,
僕が支配した
and ow!
ダメージ
Damage check. No trigger. Now here comes 1 more attack, 19k to the Vanguard. Okay, Phantom Blaster Overlord skill does not require any counter blasts. And I don't have any skills that require any counter blast at the moment, so I think I'm safe. So I guess I can afford to not get any extra damage. Okay. Fabernale's skill can give him the power to restand as long as his soul has the necessary cards. So I guess I'll hold on to the heal trigger Invigorate Sage for defense. So I'm just gonna ditch the standard heal trigger Arceus for the guard. I guard with Arceus, 25k. The attack is blocked,
ガード
and I'm safe. Okay,
ターン
now it's my turn. I stand and draw. Okay, I ride for my right deck, Phantom Blaster Overlord. For the right deck cost, I'm gonna discard. Gotta hold on the perfect guard to defend myself, and the heal trigger to guard. And the Overlord to Persona Right with, so I have to either discard the critical or one of the normal units in my hand. Okay. I think I'll hold on to normal units to call and attack with, so I'll just discard the critical for the cost. Discard.
これが
I
私の
ride from my right deck, Phantom Blaster Overlord. With Phantom Blaster Dragon to skill, my Vanguard gets +1 critical, so next up, I call Ease-Rod Angel to the rear guard. call. Ease Rod skill, I Soul Blast 1. I Soul Blast. I Soul Blast. Full bow to the rear guard to my drop zone.
スキル発動
And I Superior Call the top card of my deck. It's a Skull Witch Nemen. Okay, using Nemen's skill, I Superior Call it to the rear guard. Call.
スペリオルコール
Skill of Nemen, I Counterblast 2. Send a card from my hand into the soul. I send... I guess I'll send... Phenolia to the soul to draw 2 cards. Into the soul, I draw 2 cards. I drew a critical and Phantom Blaster Dragon. Okay. I think... Okay, then next I call Witch of Pandering Bruner to the rear guard. Call.
コール
Alright, that should be enough. So, alright, going to the battle phase. Yep, to the battle phase. First up, I attack with my rear guard. Phantom Blaster Overlord requires me to retire 2 rear guards. I guess I'll use Nemen and Ease Rod for the cost. So, okay. First, I'll attack Ease Rod Angel against the rear guard
エ
Nania.
アガードにアタック
The attack goes through, and boom, 1 rear guard down. Now boosted by my Bruner, my Vanguard Overlord attacks the Vanguard, 18k, 2 crits. Next, Phantom Blaster Overlord skill. I retire 2 rear guards in my field. I retire Nemen and Ease Rod Angel.
ここからが本当の戦いスキル発動
And then I'm going to, let's see, Superior Call, Blaster Dart from my soul to the rear guard. Call. And give plus 10,000 power to both my Vanguard and my rear guard.
パワープラス
There we go. Now it's 28k to the Vanguard. She double guards. 43k to the pass. Alright, first check. No trigger. Phantom Blaster Dragon. And second check. No trigger. Nemen. Okay. The attack does not go through. Then my Blaster Dark on the right side, boosted by Phenolia, attacks the Vanguard.
ヴァンガー
23k.
ドにアタック
It attacks the... Okay, it does not go through.
ガー
Then next, with my remaining Blaster Dart, will attack the rear guard, Time Jarrett
エア
Dragon.
ガードにアタック
ドロー
And
ガ
okay, the attack goes through, slash, 1 rear guard down. And that's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn.
スタンド&ド
My opponent's going to activate Favernill's skill, forcing me to retire one of my own rear guards. Okay, I'm going to retire the Blaster Dart on my left side.
パワー
He gets plus power and critical. Okay.
クリプラス
Next, he activates Favernill's skill, move a card from the hand to the soul.
コー
He added to his hand Nania. Okay, Vanguard to Vanguard. Okay, let's see. His Vanguard soul has 2. The total grades 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 12. He doesn't have enough cards to activate Favernill's restand skill, so I guess I can afford to let this attack go through and save up my hand to guard the remaining attack just in case. So no guard, take the hit.
ノーガード
My opponent twin drives, first check. No trigger, Gunrum. And second
ドラ
check.
イブチェック
No trigger. Selfish Engraver, okay.
これが僕のヴァンガードだ
Here it comes, 2 damage to me. And Eclipse rains down and out.
ダメージ
Damage check first. No trigger, Phantom Blaster Overlord. And second check.
ダメージチェック
Critical trigger. Nice. I give all effects to Blaster Dark.
クリティカルプラス
There we go, effects added. Now Blaster Dark is safe against Crimson Expeller.
ヴァンガードにアタックだ
The attack does not go through, but he can soul charge. He soul charges a draw trigger. He soul charged a trigger. Cannot use it. Okay. No guard. The attack still does not go through. I'm safe. And now it's my turn. I stand and draw. I Persona Ride. Phantom Blaster Overlord.
ペルソナライド
Call, ride, and I drew. My over trigger came out. Come on, seriously? Fine, whatever. Then I'm going to. Like I said, don't need to use Nemen's skill to draw any cards, so I think I'm just gonna call my 2 Phantom Blaster Dragons to the rear guard. Call and call. to use his fodder for Phantom Blaster Overlord skill. So, yep, calling it to the rear guard. Call. That should be enough. Go into battle phase. First up, Phantom Blaster Dragon attacks the Vanguard. 23k. He guards with a heal trigger. 28k. The attack does not go through. Okay. It's blocked. Now boosted by Bruner. Phantom Blaster Overlord attacks the Vanguard. Skill activated. I retired 2 of my own rear guards. I retired the 2 Phantom Blaster Dragons. And use its skill to superior call Blaster Dart from the drop zone. Call Blaster Dart. Call. And 10,000 power to Blaster Dart and my Vanguard. 38k, 2 crits. I'm not going to activate Blaster Dart skill. He guards a perfect guard, okay. And he discards for the perfect guard cost a Gunrum, okay. Drive check. Blaster Dart, nothing, so second check. Ease Rod Angel, okay, nothing. Then, okay, the attack is blocked. Now, my left side Blaster Dark. No, wait, my right side Blaster Dark attacks the Vanguard. 33k. And, okay, the attack goes through and slash. 1 damage. Damage check. Ah, critical trigger, come on. Okay, he gives all effects to his Vanguard. Then, my Blaster Dark attacks the Vanguard. 35k. The attack goes through and slash. 1 damage. Damage check. No trigger. Perfect guard. Nice. That's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. My opponent's going to activate Favernell's skill. I must retire one of my own rear guards. Okay. I retire the Blaster Dart on my left side. Retire. He gets power and critical. Alright. Now he's activating Favernell's skill. 1 card from the hand to the soul. He calls Expeller. Okay, let me just check his soul. The card he added from his skill was a grade 2. The total grades in his soul now are 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 12, and 14. He has enough to activate his 4th skill of restanding his Vanguard. Okay, then I'm going to first Perfect Guard the attack. Perfect Guard. For the Perfect Guard cost, let's see, I'm gonna discard Blaster Dart. Yep, discarding Blaster Dart for the Perfect Guard cost. T-Twin drives, first check. Ah, draw trigger, come on! He gives all effects to Expeller. And second check. No trigger, safe. And the attack is blocked, I'm safe. Now here comes Favernell's skill. He counterblasts 2 to restand the Vanguard. -1 drive. I perfect guard again. Wait. Yep, I'm going to... No, instead I guard Invigorate Sage. Skill plus 15,000 shield. Total 38k. Over trigger to pass. He drive checks. No trigger. Time Jared Dragon. Safe. So the attack is blocked. And now here comes an attack from Expeller on the left. He's gonna soul charge. He soul charges a order card. Okay, the attack does not go through. Okay, safe. And now the remaining Expeller attacks the Vanguard. 20k. Skill, he soul charges. Selfish Engraver, okay. I'm gonna block the final damage. I'm gonna guard with a critical. 28k. And safe, the attack is blocked. Alright. That's the end of my opponent's turn. It's my turn. I stand and draw. Okay. I'm going to the main phase. I'm going to call Ease Rod Angel to the rear guard. Call skill of Ease Rod. I Soul Blast 1. I Soul Blast Phenolia. And look at the top card of my deck. It's a critical. Okay. I'm not going to call it. Just leave it on the top of the deck. Next, I call Skullwitch Nemen to the rear guard. Call. Not going to use her skill. Alright, I got the fodder for my Phantom Blaster Overlord. Okay, go into battle phase. First up, Ease Rod Angel attacks the Vanguard, 13k. He intercepts with Expeller, 18k. The attack is blocked. Okay, now boosted by Bruner, Phantom Blaster Overlord attacks the Vanguard, 18k. Skill activated. I'm going to retire 2 of my own rear guards. I retire Ease Rod and Skullwitch Lemon. And retiring both of them to Superior Call Blaster Dart from my drop zone. I call Blaster Dart to the left side. Power added to my Vanguard and rear guard. Now it's 28k, 2 crits to the Vanguard. I'm not going to activate Blaster Dart skill. He triple guards, 38k, 43k, 2 to pass, first check, critical trigger. I give all effects to Blaster Dark on the right side. There we go. And second check. No trigger, Phantom Blaster Overlord, okay. And okay. Now boosted by Phenolia, my right side Blaster Dark attacks the Vanguard, 33k, 2 criticals. Yes, the attack goes through, and slash, 2 damage, first check. No trigger, 6 damage, I win! That was a pretty good fight. The deck worked out okay, I guess, despite sometimes the triggers not working, but I got to try out some of the new cards, as well as my Phantom Blaster Overlord skills managed to work out pretty well, so alright, I got Win, double trigger, attack 40,000 more power, perfect guarded, did a Persona Ride, 8 turns passed, did a Superior Call, retired 5 more opposing units, and drew 3 more times in 1 turn. I got 2250 PP, total 8275 PP, press A to go next. Leaving the fight, returning to fight menu. Back to fight menu, leaving fight menu, returning to main menu, and entering edit deck menu. And okay, with that, the deck's been built, Cardfight explained, and I just finished testing out the deck in front of you, and so with that, that's just about all the time we have for today. First off, I want to say thank you to the viewers watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos I plan to upload again in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that, I say goodbye, and see you all soon!